Kyler Murray is a dynamic playmaking quarterback from the University of Oklahoma, who under head coach Lincoln Riley had one of the most productive seasons for a quarterback in college football history. He finished the season with 4,361 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, and topped it all off with the Heisman Trophy win. Murray has recently declared for the NFL draft, but his situation is a bit different than most. As most of us already know, Murray is a pretty good baseball player and was drafted 9th overall by the Oakland Athletics. There's been a ton of debate on which sport Murray should play, but there is no doubt in my mind that he has the talent and ability to play quarterback in the NFL. So today, we're going to take a look at Murray and see if he has what it takes to play at the next level. Anytime there's a conversation about Murray playing quarterback in the NFL, the first thing that probably is going to be mentioned is his height. Murray is generously listed at 5'10", which by NFL quarterback standards is considered short. In reality, Murray looks to be probably about 5'9", and that's on a good day. Either way, there's always going to be concerns in regards to his height and whether or not he'll be able to make it in the NFL at his height. Over the years, we have seen shorter quarterbacks have success in the NFL, and I think the whole narrative about short quarterbacks is starting to change a bit. Obviously, guys like Drew Brees and Russell Wilson have had a ton of success as shorter quarterbacks, but you also have young guys that are emerging like Baker Mayfield, who had a tremendous rookie season. I know there are some limitations with smaller quarterbacks playing in the NFL, such as seeing and throwing over offensive and defensive linemen, but if you really sit down and think about it, Murray showed that he was able to do it in college. Most Big 12 offensive and defensive linemen are just as big as NFL offensive linemen. The linemen that he plays with and against are guys that will most likely be playing on Sundays in the NFL. I'm not saying that the NFL isn't different, because it is, but I don't think the difference is as dramatic as people make it. The question isn't can short quarterbacks play in the NFL, because they clearly can. It's been proven. I think it's more about putting that quarterback in the right situation and tailoring your offense to fit that quarterback. There are a few ways that you can do this, in my opinion. First, it might be more beneficial for a team to put Murray in the shotgun more often rather than under center. It just doesn't make sense to put him under center and put him at a disadvantage from the jump. Keep him in the shotgun so he can get his eyes upfield quickly and so that he doesn't have bodies in his face at the snap of the ball. Moving the pocket will also be beneficial. Seattle does this a lot with Russell Wilson. Wilson doesn't just take traditional 5 to 7 step drops and sits back in the pocket all the time. They move the pocket for him utilizing sprint outs, nakeds, and bootlegs. He's a guy that will have to be protected, especially from guard to guard on the offensive line. He's not a guy that you want getting pressured directly in his face at the snap of the ball. Good offensive line play from guard to guard will be crucial. Also, not only is Murray shorter, but he doesn't have a big frame at all. He has short levers, he's not very thick, and he only weighs about 190 pounds. If he's getting hit all the time, then he's going to be more susceptible to injury. Any quarterback is, but with him being a smaller guy, the need to protect him is paramount. Murray is a pocket passer. He can run and is very mobile, but he's always looking to throw the ball first. I honestly was shocked to see how well he can spin it. He may not have quite the arm that Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State has, but his arm is still very good. He can make all of the throws, but I think he thrives most in the short and intermediate zones. This is where his arm talent is truly on display. He shows really good velocity, and when he needs to add some zip to the ball, he can definitely do that. He is also extremely accurate. He doesn't miss often and is very similar to his former teammate Baker Mayfield in that area. The most impressive skill that Murray shows on film is his touch, though. Sometimes you see quarterbacks that want to throw the ball as hard as they can no matter where they're throwing it, or guys that don't have a feel for placing the ball right out of a defender's reach. Murray is a guy that has exceptional touch on his passes. He knows when to add zip to the balls on those tight window throws or when he has to drive it downfield. He also understands when he has to take some steam off of the ball when he's throwing the ball on underneath routes. He throws a beautiful ball overall with incredible touch and accuracy to go along with it. Murray is an exceptional athlete at the quarterback position. He has the ability to keep plays alive when the pocket collapses on him or when he has nothing there. He has incredible quick twitch when he's on the run and can easily make anyone miss out in the open field. His small frame helps him out with this a little bit. He's elusive, but at the same time it's simply just hard to find him and get a hold of him. He can hide behind his lineman and find a way to squirt out of there for a long game. Murray is a guy that can make all of the off-schedule plays as well. When things break down, he can get away from defenders, keep his eyes downfield, and make accurate throws without panicking. If need be, he can run zone read and other concepts and incorporate the quarterback in the run game as well. It may not be ideal for most, but his athletic ability is a plus for him at the quarterback position. The only thing I worry about is injuries. He's a smaller guy, so I would rather him not take the unnecessary hits and punishment. His mobility is one of the strengths of his game, and it's hard not to utilize it. He's explosive and can take one the distance on his own if allowed to. When I watch Kyler Murray, he reminds me a bit of Russell Wilson on film. Wilson may be a bit bigger, but their skill sets are very similar. Both are willing and capable passers that can throw it with the best of them. Both are mobile, but aren't necessarily looking to vacate the pocket. Murray is a better athlete than Wilson in my opinion, but will his athleticism and style of play be a good thing or a detriment for him? Some teams will embrace him and be willing to find the best way to utilize his skill set, but I'm sure there are more traditional teams that probably won't touch Murray at all. His frame will present issues for a lot of teams, but all he needs to do is continue to work on his craft. And most importantly, he still has his professional baseball career looming in the background. $4 million from the Oakland A's is a lot to turn down, but he's going to have to make that decision pretty soon. As far as the baseball versus football debate goes, this is how I personally feel. I feel that Murray should choose to play whichever sport he wants to play. No amount of money should affect his decision, because he'll get the money regardless if he decides to play baseball or football, and if he's really good at either one, he's going to get paid. But nothing can really make up for going out there and playing the sport you love. In my opinion, I think he wants to play football, and I think he will ultimately decide to play football. He's an amazing talent, and if he does decide to play football, I think he'll be a first-round pick. He's definitely one of the top 10 to 15 players that's coming out in this year's draft. The only thing holding him back are, honestly, genetics. Murray has that it factor that you really can't teach. You only know it when you see it. Murray can be very productive, and if he lands on the right team with the right coach, then he has an opportunity to be a very exciting player for years to come. Let me know what you think.